these partners on the top, and that would feed applications from a single developer program at the bottom. What made this possible then is say, okay, it was a great vision, but how are we actually going to do this? Well, in February, Intel and Nokia announced the initiative and a new operating system platform called Amigo. And Amigo is essentially an open software platform that's a mobile version of Linux that took really the best of Intel's Moblin operating system and Nokia's MIMO operating system and created a very compelling operating system and user experience for mobile users in general, but not specifically for one device, but across a whole category of devices. Then on top of Amigo, that was, well, I guess I'll go into Amigo in a little more detail in the next slide. On top of Amigo then sits AppUp as an opportunity to deliver those applications across multiple platforms. And then you see that netbooks is first. We have partnerships underway with television companies, with handheld and smartphones, even in the car, in-vehicle infotainment opportunities, and embedded. In each of these areas, we have partners and customers underway that are creating products that utilize Atom, Amigo, and the AppUp store as well. A question back in the back? Yeah, exactly. Great question. So applications that are built on the Amigo framework and operating system can be run in both the OV store and the AppUp store. Once again, saves either porting or rewriting of applications. In fact, just last week, we announced Amigo 1.1. And part of Amigo 1.1 announcement was a compliance specification. It's basically said, hey, these are the APIs and the components that are guaranteed to be in a Amigo device. And then a developer can always count on this set of APIs to be there, whatever device is developed. And so, yeah, if you develop now an application for Amigo, it'll run easily in the OV store, it'll run in the AppUp store, and it'll run in all the variations of AppUp's stores that our partners take and then customize for themselves as well. The 1.1 version has the netbook user experience included in it, has in-vehicle infotainment user experience, and a handset user experience. When I say user experience, it's the same underlying operating system, but the user interface is different, and the core applications maybe that you use in a vehicle might be different from a handset or a netbook. And so each of those will have very similar look and feel and navigation. And if someone goes, they're using their handset, then they go in their car, and then they go in their television, they'll recognize the experience and easily navigate through that. And they'll also be able to, in the future, find applications that are similar across these devices. And then take that even a step further, is that those applications, if you as a developer get creative here, you can create applications that will actually provide continuity and consistency between those devices. Let's say, for example, you're watching a movie on your handheld, and you walk in the living room or even the car. Now you want to switch to pause it and then continue watching on the next device. Well, this would allow you to do that and develop applications that can do that. We call this the compute continuum at Intel, and it really helping developers write applications that can span across the continuum and provide a consistent user experience for the users. That question? So the question was, how are we doing looking ahead, getting all these devices connected together? Yeah, absolutely. We're looking at that and looking at it from a number of angles, because we think there's a huge opportunity there, right? And Intel can provide toolkits for developers to take advantage. We can also do things in the underlying hardware as well to provide consistency as well in the communications. So definitely underworks, yes. Another thing to mention on the 1.1 release that just came out last week is it has some great touch capabilities, a touch framework and sensor framework in there as well. So developers can write those applications that take advantage of, say, the accelerometer or a GPS in the system, and they have the really full multi-touch capability of the device as well. It uses Qt 4.7 and QML, and really a pretty straightforward and easy development environment for you guys. So let's talk a little bit more about the specific resources available to do this. So first of all, you saw the vision, what we're trying to accomplish, providing a cross-platform solution here. We see that Amigo is really the technology and a software platform that allows us to do that. And here's the developer program as the sort of resources to help you. The AppUp developer program is available today. If you go to appdeveloper.intel.com, you'll find it there. And on there, you'll find a whole set of developer resources like the SDK, developer guides, step-by-step training and help. You'll find a community of developers already writing, asking questions, helping each other out, providing sample code. And you'll see there's a lot of interesting incentives and challenges as well to get the developers competing with their applications against each other. It's pretty straightforward, the typical model here, but we've done some things to try and make it easier for you folks as well. So you have a submission dashboard. You've created your application, you're ready to submit it. You have a dashboard there. You fill in all the information. You set your pricing for your application. But you'll also see then, once it's submitted, exactly where it is in the pipeline of the validation process. And typically, we also heard that the validation, well, two things with the validation we've heard from developers. One is that they want to know exactly what is expected, so there's no surprises. So we've got all the guidelines published online, exactly what the application needs to be sure to do. And then secondly, an SLA of about 7 days that we like to turn around the validation and have it back to developers so they don't have to wait too long on that as well. And you'll see from the dashboard exactly where your application is in that process, and then any kind of feedback you're getting on what you need to do next there. The other thing I want to mention here is the component marketplace. So with AppUp, not only will you have an opportunity to sell to consumers, but if you've in the process of writing your application, you came up with a pretty valuable module or component or library that could benefit other developers because they're doing similar things, and maybe it's something you created that you expect other developers would want to do over and over again, and they're not interested in writing themselves, you can license that to them through the component store within AppUp. So the end users don't see this part of the store. It would be just developer to developer. And you can set your own licensing revenue share terms with the developer that wants to use this, and do that all online and pretty straightforward. Let's see, if you happen to be an OS developer, you want to contribute to Amigo, because Amigo is really run by the Linux Foundation. You can go to Amigo.com, and you find all the information there and figure out how you can contribute to Amigo itself. You can also, if you're an Adobe developer and use the Adobe tools and their portal and used to interacting with Adobe, we've partnered with them, and they've got now a great model for submitting the application to the Adobe. I can't remember what they call it right now, but you submit the application to Adobe. Pardon me? In market, yeah. So you submit your application to in market. You click on there, I'd like that to be published to AppUp, and then it automatically through Web of Services will come and get published in the AppUp store. So we've been working with them for a while, and that just got announced just last month. We have some pretty fun contests and incentives as well as you're developing your application. If you have some really compelling new creative ideas, you should be submitting it for the contest, because you can win up to $60,000. One of the prizes is a BMW and a trip to Germany. Another one is a fabulous vacation package, and then a whole host of other prizes as well. So get your applications in there and see how they compete. And then also opportunities to get your name out as well. If you're a really good developer and you start to develop some applications that get recognized and you show you really know what you're doing, you could become one of the legends that we promote online as well, and do some marketing around the legends of AppUp. I did talk about this a little bit already about the component side, but the business model is very similar to what you're used to. It's 70% revenue to the developer, and that's based off of the sale of the application. And then for the component side, you can set your own terms for that. So I think in summary on this section here is, what do developers care about? First of all, hey, they want to write compelling applications, work with cool technology. That's important, and really innovate. They want business opportunities and income, and they don't want to have to worry about the deployment of that, marketing of that, and the distribution of that. Let the App Store take care of that, and they don't want to have to worry about the validation process, making that a real headache. Make that as simple, as easy as possible. So we think we've got a good start on that, and we're getting a lot of feedback from developers and any areas we can improve. The program's been underway. I mentioned it was just AppUp was officially went gold just in September, but we do already have 1,500 applications in the store. We have 20,000 or some developers who have joined and are participating and taking advantage of our first store, which is the netbook store. And then next year we'll start to see stores around tablet devices, handheld devices, and set-top box TV devices as well. Why now with the netbook? You may not have thought about the netbook as an opportunity for an app store and for you, but there is a huge installed base there of users, and these users aren't finding a lot of applications specifically written for netbooks, mainly because there wasn't a way to really reach that audience specifically. It was categorized together with the PC audience, but now with AppUp, there's a way to directly reach those netbook users and help them take advantage of the netbook. So they're a much more mobile user. They throw their netbook in their purse or their briefcase. They take it on the business trip, or they're taking it to with the family on vacation, or they're using it around town, wherever they happen to go, and using it a lot of times for snackable, 15-minute slots when they have a little bit of time at Starbucks, sit down, pull out the computer, or at home even. They're used quite a bit within the home from room to room, just because they're so light and easy and inexpensive. So with that in mind, it's an opportunity for developers then to come up with applications that are specifically geared for those users and those usage models. Here's the categories of applications in AppUp, and there's 21 overall, and I think you recognize most of these, very similar you see in most app stores. But if you go to AppUp, so if you want to actually download AppUp and test it out, check the applications out, you can browse these categories and see what apps are already in there. You go to appup.com. That's the end user place to download this, or appdeveloper.intel.com. That's the developer website as well. But from an end user perspective, these are going to become pre-installed on netbooks. So it's another opportunity for you to get this introduced to your apps introduced to consumers very quickly when they first install and use their PCs. So one example of this is Chroma. Chroma just announced, I think it was last month as well, that they are going to be installing AppUp in every one of their netbooks that they ship, and also getting out in pen drives to their existing users, let them know that they can take advantage of all these applications. And they're going to be marketing it pretty heavily as well to their users and letting them know about this. So that's our first partner in India. We have Best Buy doing the same thing in the US, and we have Dixon's doing this in the UK. And all three of these were just announced in September as well. So far, the India response has been very strong. Without a lot of push, we haven't done big marketing or fanfare. We've had, I think around 25% of our applications have already come from India, and a really good chunk of developers have joined the program and are participating. Here's a sample of companies that are already writing applications for AppUp or Amigo, and here's a set of applications that are India specific. So looking at what is the unique cultural opportunities here in India to take advantage of. Okay, so in a summary here, there's an opportunity for you to take advantage of AppUp today through netbooks and writing applications submitting through netbooks, and then tomorrow through all kinds of devices as AppUp starts to show up on multiple devices, probably tablets. I expect to be very soon, handhelds, set-top boxes, even in cars, and by starting to write your applications in Amigo, you can take advantage of all these things and hopefully start to grow your business as well. And I have some time now. I can take some questions. Any questions? Yeah, right there. Am I aware of any applications right now, infotainment applications on Amigo? Yes. Oh, they aren't launched yet. So, Amigo 1.1 for infotainment was just rolled out. And so we have developers in the works working on right now, but they haven't been published yet. So I can't talk about them publicly yet, but they're underway.
Okay.
Yeah. Other questions? Oh, the very top there. Oh, sure. The question was, will the application testing be done from Intel's end or from the developer's end? Intel takes care of that. So you submit your application. We'll do the standard tests. Okay, is it installing properly? Does it install? Does it have any viruses or malware in there? And just the really standard stuff. We'll give the report back to the developer if they need to make any changes, and we'll take care of all that. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't hear that.
Would that be a part of the revenue model that you proposed? Would it be passed on or charged to the developer, or? Oh,
the cost of the testing of the application? No, that's something that just Intel does. Yeah, it does get fairly expensive, but we understand it's tough to charge the developers for that. So we cover the costs of the validation and taking care of all that. Sorry, could you repeat that?
What is the sale figure for Atom as a platform?
The sales figure? Oh. Well, yeah, Atom as a platform, are you talking about the raw numbers? I think I know about the netbooks. We're supposed to be approaching 100 million netbooks in the market next year. So that's the netbook alone. And then there's other devices as well.
Atom based or as such total all?
Yeah, that's Atom-based. It's strictly Atom-based, yeah, for netbooks. And then there's, if we look at Atom overall, it's larger than that because it goes in a lot more places than just netbooks as well.
Are you only targeting Atom-based process, or do you have plans to expand it for other Intel-based process?
Yeah, initially it's really focused on Atom because this is a mobile focus here, and that's what Atom is great at. But one thing to understand, that Amigo also runs on ARM as well. And so Amigo will be compatible with it's a cross-platform, architecture solution as well, both on ARM and Intel. Yes?
Because app stores are supposed to be one-stop shops for each platform. Now, Amigo devices will have the OV store and the Intel App Store. So any user who is looking for any app now has to check two stores.
Oh, let's see. So if it was a Nokia device, it would come with OV App Store, and you wouldn't have to use two stores. You would just use the OV store and search there, and you should find all of the Amigo applications that you need there. And then if it's another partner's store, they might have App Up on it, and they would have the Amigo applications in there. So from the developer side, it's quite nice because you write it on Amigo, and it can publish in both OV and both App Up. From the end user's side, the Amigo experience is consistent. The storefront might be different, and on the Nokia store, you might find additional services and different Nokia-specific applications. But if you're an Amigo developer, you probably submit it to both and show up in both stores. Yes?
Hi. How are you encouraging the other OEMs to use Amigo?
Yeah. Well, we've been talking to a lot of OEMs and partners out there, and they really like the concept. They like the model that this is an open software platform. They like the ability to customize this for them so they can have their own brand on there. And they like the opportunities to integrate with their billing system as well. So the response has been very strong. We have a number of partners right now that are working on this. We have netbook OEMs have already announced their, and then we have partnerships underway with handheld set-top box and tablets as well. But I can't talk about those yet. You'll see announcements soon on those.
Your topic goes like this, developing for success in new app store economy. But as such, talk is just considered it on Amigo and App Up Store, right? I think the topic title doesn't justify it.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, right.
Well,
this comment came because I had attended another talk by Andrew Till. That talk title is also like open source mobile development. You have to do the right choices out of it. But it was just totally pure marketing and shallow talk. So it's actually misleading the audience who are sitting over here. They have paid the money for it, right?
Well, hopefully I didn't mislead you, and hopefully you got something out of this, because we did try to address some of the challenges that you'll see as developers here.
That's okay. Actually, Scott, we are scientific people, actually. Whatever you say, whatever you commit, you deliver that. That's it. So whatever said over here is not delivered, right?
Well, once again, hopefully you did get something out of the talk here, and it was beneficial.
Hey, I tell you that, here, I just give you my example. I was supposed to come on 11th from Delhi to here. I preponed my ticket, cancelling from there to just to attend this conference. I came from there to here. You can imagine that audience, how much they take the pain to come over here. Yeah, right? So, being a scientific person, being on a principle, whatever you commit, you should deliver it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got it. I certainly tried to do that, and hopefully was helpful to most of you out there. But it sounds like it wasn't for you. It looks like I'm out of time now. Feel free to come up and talk to me some more, ask me any more questions you have. Thank you very much.